Hey, light workers and lurkers. This is Treyana Hathor. And today I want to talk about karmics. I want to explain exactly what karmics are. And I can explain it from so many different angles. So I'm going to try to hit some important angles to explain them from. So, the first thing I want to say is that this might sound crazy as hell, but first and foremost, they're demons. And not the kind of demons that the church teaches you, Christianity teaches you about, like the visual perception of demons. Demons are not how they're depicted in the 3D. It's all based off of energy, and it's all based off of like your soul. It's based off of certain characteristics that your soul has. It's all about how you were made. Now, specifically for demons, they were not made to grow spiritually. And when I say grow spiritually, like they were not made to learn lessons. Like a lot of the times when you come across souls that are demonic, that are demons, like the lowest spiritual rank, that are specifically created to teach people karmic lessons. Those souls don't learn lessons, like they repeat the same cycles. So you'll see those souls, and I'm pretty sure you know them. You probably have them in your family. You probably have friends like this, but they do the same things over and over and over again and never learn. Like I can name a few of them that I've had in my life that I've encountered. One particular friend I had, like she was a functioning person, like she worked and everything like that, but she would make like terrible decisions. Like one example I can give you is that she was working and she decided to get a extra job during the holidays as a waitress. So and this was like an extra job that she had to make extra money to buy her kids things for Christmas. But she decided, while she was at work working at this restaurant, she decided to steal someone's purse, a customer's purse at her job. It ended up going to jail for 30 days. Like that type of thing. Like they make horrible decisions like off of impulse. And then some of them might do the same things over and over, like the ones you see that constantly commit crimes and be in and out of jail or in and out of prison. Like never learn from them, or they might try to do things different ways to see if they can get a better result. Another thing is their character. They don't have the best character at all. The morals are all jacked up. There's no boundaries. Some of them are functional. I mean, most of them are. Most of them work regular jobs and might have powerful positions in society and stuff like that, but they're just off morally. Like they have no code of conduct. Like they'll do anything to get ahead. It's like so many different levels to these demonic souls. Now, on the spectrum of demonic souls, you have some that are terrible, like the ones you see on the news that commit horrific crimes. So it can get that bad, like really, really, really dark, to the ones that are kind of like my friend that I was telling you about, my ex-friend, who was just, petty. Wasn't a physical threat to anyone, but just made decisions that could hurt others. I look at them, and you can look at them as being like programs to do certain things and act a certain way. And they are programs technically to do those things to teach others, so they can grow spiritually. When I talk about the spectrum, there's a spectrum. All of them are narcissists, because that's another word that you can use for them. So they are demons on a spiritual level, okay? In psychology, they will be considered narcissists. Spiritually, people call them karmics as well because they teach you karmic lessons. On the psychological level, they are narcissists, and then they can range from being a sociopath, like the one I talked about, stealing the purse and the lying, the stealing and stuff like that. Sociopaths really don't have that much control over themselves. Like they are impulsive, like they act out, they're more liable to go to jail and stuff like that, or they get locked up. But they are still narcissists, like sociopathic narcissists. And then the more dangerous ones are the psychopaths. Those are the ones that are a lot more functional. They can work regular jobs and kind of blend in with society and be able to control themselves more. They're more intelligent, but they are more dangerous at the same time. And then there are people that are somewhere in the middle or, anywhere on that spectrum. They can really blend in and put on a mask very well. I ain't gonna say they're very intelligent because they're not intelligent. compared to a divine being or nothing like that. Or even certain people that like, depending on how high they are and how much they've learned from them, you know, they're not intelligent, but when you compare them, the psychopaths are far more intelligent than the sociopaths. They were made differently for different reasons. I'll say that. Amongst the psychopaths that are very functional and are more intelligent, there are a rare few that have been around for a really long time and know how to move around, in life on earth, and have been doing it for a very, very, very long time. They know how to move karmically. So I can give an example of at least I've noticed a few, but one that's popular is the Sprinkle lady, Shara 7. She's a karmic. She's a demon. She's a narcissist, but and she's a witch. She's openly said that she's a witch. She even doesn't care if you call her a narcissist. Like,
I'm narcissistic and I'm a sociopath, and they were intrigued than they were before, so it worked for me. Okay, it works. Some people it works for. I'm one of them.
But she moves the way she moves. I can tell that she's been around for a really long time. Like, that woman has lived many lifetimes and knows how to move karmically on this planet. She's an ancient witch for sure. And the reason why I say she knows how to move karmically, and that the real trick, or the real tea about how she moves so well karmically, is that she's open. She's open. She isn't trying to trick people. Like, she says she's a witch. She says, her information. Now, most of it I think is good for forming self-esteem. Some I think is dangerous.
He says, should you stay with a narcissist man who provides everything? I'm sure. Why? Because no one cares what he's talking about anyway. As long as he provides. Like, y'all have to remember, you don't have to listen to what people say. You don't have to believe nothing they say. If y'all are too into it, y'all are too into it. I don't know. Y'all taking stuff too seriously around here. I'm just taking the blame. Sprinkle.
But she's very transparent. And people have free will to do what they want to do. And as long as you're not tricking them and lying to them and trying to finesse them, then your hands are pretty much clean. And she moves in a way where her hands stay clean and people are able to have free will to take her advice or leave it. But she's not being manipulative. Even the stuff that she says that is manipulative, she tells you, manipulate them like this, manipulate. Like, she's very, the woman, like, she has no filter. So that's how she's able to move around and be able to live lifetime after lifetime. She's been living a long time. That woman is an ancient witch. How she's been able to do it without being sent to purgatory, without doing anything that would jeopardize her access to live life. Now, will it stay that way? Will she always come back? And most likely, because that's the way she was made. Now, they are rare, but I've come across people. I've even seen a tarot reader that the tech has been around for a long time. The ones that you can tell that are demons, they're witches, but the way they act and the way they speak is very transparent. They don't try to hide anything. They're very self-assured in who they are, and they give you information that you can take or leave, but there's no lies, there's nothing like that. They are the ones that are truly, 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 like, ancient and have been doing this for a very long time. But most of the run-of-the-mill sociopaths that you'll run into are not nowhere near them. And they're very uppity. Like, they have like a very uppity kind of aura to them. Like, they know that they've been around for a long time. They know that they know a lot of things and how to move in a way that most sociopaths or demons know how to move. So they'll have like a kind of arrogance to them as well. But yeah, Shara 7, I definitely recognize her as being an ancient witch, a sociopathic demon that has pretty much mastered life on Earth karmically. And there are more where she came from, but they're rare. I think I've seen definitely 2 of them, I'll say, for sure. They know how to move and that knows how to not screw themselves karmically, where they'll be around for many, 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 many more lifetimes. Like, I don't see them going anywhere. But you don't forget stuff. One thing about it, this is like off topic, but on topic. But when you're living lifetimes, the lessons you learn stay with you. Now, the memories might stay behind. You know, the certain details and the vivid memories stay behind, but the lessons that you learned in past lifetimes, they come with you. Like, you don't lose that stuff. So they're not going to lose their life experience. Subconsciously, they're going to still know how to move moving forward forever. You know, you don't lose that stuff. As you accumulate it, you bring it with you each lifetime and you add on to it, but you never lose it. So, yeah, they are demons, demonic spirits that can range from harmless, not physically threatening at all, to extremely dangerous. And the extremely dangerous ones, the ones that are a danger to society, are the ones that are being phased out. So we'll have like more of the ones that, not saying there won't be any ones that won't be violent or anything like that, but it won't be like, the worst of the worst here on this planet anymore. Like the serial, you know, people, if I don't really want to say it because they might not be able to upload on TikTok, but you know what I mean, like the worst of the worst of the society that you know of, that you see on the news, that does the most horrific things to, people, even children. Those are the ones that will be gone. So it's going to be like a less dark version of demons on this planet, because all of them are demons. Like, if you really think about it, like, there are different kinds of demons. Like, you have demons like that are succubus, if you ever heard of those. They're not harmful. Like, they don't go around, eliminating people, but they'll suck you up and suck you in different ways, but they are not physically harmful. You have ones that are tricksters, that'll try to trick you up to get what they want. Those are demons, but they're not physically harmful. You can still learn lessons from encountering them, but it won't be nothing like, you know, threatening to your life. Another thing that they'll do is they'll try to stop your growth, or they'll try to like really make your life harder than what it is. If they have that kind of power in your life, like they'll try to make your life harder in many ways. But like, say if they notice that you're improving yourself, whether it be in the physical area of your life, like you're coming up financially, or even spiritually, like they see you at peace and they see you trying to, ascend away from them, they'll try to stop you. They'll try to, get pregnant by you to try to lock you in with them, because the way they are, they imagine like a video game. So on a video game, there are levels. So the first level is like when you're born and you have your karmic family. So you go through that level of being raised by your family or whatever. Like, say you have a karmic mother. Your karmic mother raises you and it's time for you to leave her house. So now you're going to another level. So you leave her behind and you go to another level of the video game where there's more karmics. So the next group of karmics might be friends, your social group. That might be karmic, or at least one person in your social group. So you go through that level, and you're supposed to leave the person that's karmic in your social group behind, and you go to the next level. They stay behind. You see what I'm saying? Karmics don't move forward. They stay in a certain place, and they stay in that place for people behind you to learn from. And those people level up. The karmic still stays in that place. They never go forward. But you leave the social group behind, or the person that's karmic social group behind, and you might be in a karmic marriage. So that karmic cycle goes on. That's the third level. And you leave that karmic spouse behind. So that karmic spouse is still on that level, but you're still rising. Those karmics that were on previous levels will try their best to stop you from leveling up. That's what they're made for. And it's up to you to have the strength and be able to make the choices to be able to rise above and keep leveling up to higher and higher levels. So once you get to a certain level, there is a time where you will not be having to level up from karmics anymore. But most people haven't made it to that point. But there will be a time, because I don't want to say every time that you have to level up from people that they're necessarily karmic. But there are people that are not karmic that are not supposed to go to the level that you are going to either. So you just have to use your discernment and figure that out. But most definitely, if you're on a spiritual journey and you have karmics placed in your life to test you, you will have to leave them on levels and keep leveling up. And they will try their best to stop you from leveling up, whether it be through violence, whether it be trying to get pregnant by you or trying to get you pregnant or anything. Like they'll try their best to manipulate you. Like they will try their best to stop you from leaving them behind because they know they can't go anywhere. And I'm not saying that they know consciously, but subconsciously they know that they can't go anywhere and that you're moving on, that you're leveling up, you're going to higher levels. So that's another thing they'll do. That's how you can kind of tell who's karmic or who's not. Once you get to the place where you're leaving good people behind that just aren't, once you get to a place where you're leaving good people behind, that might not necessarily be karmic, but they are not meant to go with you to higher levels. That's a whole nother thing. But we're speaking about karmics right now. So that's another thing. They'll try to stop your progress. Now, the ones that are not being reborn and not going into the new earth, personally, if I've experienced them do a lot of things to try to stop my progress, or even to destiny swap with me, like they will get down low and dirty with it. It depends on the kind of karmic, the kind of demon that you're dealing with. But like I said, there are all different kinds of demons, so you can't just generalize them and put them all in a box. But none of them should be trusted, and none of them are good for you. It's just a matter of how dangerous they are. There's levels of danger. Kind of like I would describe like a prison. So you have different security level prisons. So you have some that have very little security. And then you got maximum security prisons. I would say that the darkest of the demons will be characterized and placed in a maximum security prison versus the ones that are non-violent will be placed in a minimum security. And then you have prisons or levels of demons somewhere in between. But yeah, that's a good way I can kind of put it to you where it'd be easy to understand. But yeah, they're demons. So erase the idea that you have in your mind about what demons are. Demons are basically souls that are created to teach you lessons. And yes, we live amongst demons on this planet. We have been, it's been like that. It's always been that way. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I'm going to say about karmics for now. That's all I can think of right now. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll be back with another topic shortly. Bye.